Hey Freedom Family, this is Mark, and I am so glad that you're here at _Freedom for Life _. I'm excited about what we get to talk about today. I'm actually going to be revealing and giving you some tools to overcome the one thing that could be stopping you from reaching the goals that you have, or it could be sabotaging you along the way of trying to get there, or it could be telling you to don't even start in trying to reach out for that thing. Hey, but before we get started, let me do this. I want to make sure you subscribe to _Freedom for Life _ so you don't miss out on any of the conversations, the contents, and the opportunities that we are giving. Also, man, hit that like button if it's resonating with where you're at. And do me a personal favor and share it with people you know who need to have those opportunities, those tools in their life. Don't forget to hit the notification as well so that you can get the content, get these stories and these conversations right when they happen. Well, with all that being said, let's get started, shall we? In our lives, you may not know this, but I know this, that there is this one thing, the one thing that's the decision maker on whether we go for something or not. I don't know whether you're single, or I remember when I was single and you maybe have that person you like and you want to talk to. Or maybe it's that job that you want to reach out for, or that thing you want to volunteer for, be a part of. Maybe it's even joining that team. There's one thing that's stopping you. One thing that tells you, hey, maybe this isn't for you. And in the middle of it, maybe it's telling you, oh, you're going to fail at it. And this one thing, the one thing that stops us from succeeding more than anything in our life is this 2-word phrase, self-talk. Self-talk stops you from even trying things when you're in the middle of them, struggling with them. And while you're there telling you that you're going to fail at it. Has anybody ever been there? I know I have. But I've got great news for you today, and that is this. We're giving you tools today for you to be victorious in your self-talk, to turn it around from negative to positive and have it impact your life. I know you've been there, but maybe you haven't. Maybe it's just me. Have you ever been there where you want to say something to somebody? Maybe you're going to meet a boss, or you have somebody you want to say hello to, and you rehearse it in your head. Have you ever been there where you're like, okay, I'm gonna say, hi, my name's Mark. No. How about, hey, how's it going? I'm Mark. Or, hey, what's happening? And then all of a sudden you just get up and say, forget it. I didn't want to talk to them anyway, and so you walk away. Here's the truth of the matter. We all have it. We all have this voice in our head that sometimes gives you such a level of fear that you just quit, that you don't try at all. Sometimes that voice in your head reminds you of past failures, the ways you've done it wrong before, and so you don't even try again. Or it does this, right? It heckles you along the way. You've actually built up the guts and the fortitude to say, hey, I'm going to go for it, and it heckles you along the way, telling you you're going to fail, you're going to fail. Like this, have you ever been on a diet, or you want to work out, and all of a sudden, well, you take a day off, and then you take 2 days off, or you want to start a diet, and then the donuts in the lunchroom are too tempting, and so you finally eat one, and then it's all done. You just quit what you were going to do. It's happened to all of us. And here's what I need to tell you today. Today, it's going to change. We're going to have these tools, and you could call them brain hacks, these things that you can do today to change your self-talk and to be able to, instead of worry about failure, look forward to success in your life. And the first one is this. The first one that we've talked about in several things during our conversations with you is, hey, that voice in your head, you don't have to listen to it. Nothing says to you that you have to actually pay attention to that voice and follow along with what it says. The choice in the matter is yours. And that's just a freebie for you to carry on when you're walking through this. But here's the first one that you have. And in fact, what I'll say is I want you to be 3 people today. You'll understand while we have this conversation, but the first person I want you to be is Superman. And here's what I mean. Your physiology actually changes your state of mind. What you focus on and what you portray with your physiology actually changes the way you think. There's scientific studies that show that a person's posture, their way they carry themselves, actually changes the way that they think. In fact, there was a study that had this. They had people do a Superman pose for 4 minutes. They asked them how they were feeling, what their thoughts were, and how they felt emotionally beforehand. and they asked them afterwards, and they found that for the vast majority, just standing in a pose of dominance or prominence or assurance changed the way they thought. And so with your self-talk, you can change by changing your physiology. If you find that you're in the middle of some sort of negative self-talk telling you you can't do something and you're sitting, stand up. If you're standing and you're having that conversation, turn around. You can clap, you can jump, you can do physical things. In fact, one thing that they found with science is this: if you yawn and stretch, it actually basically short circuits your thought process and gives you a chance to do a reset. So here's what I want you to do. Something tangible and physical you can do is be Superman today. If you find yourself having these negative talks, these negative thoughts, these negative ideas, change your physiology and find out if your self-talk doesn't change as well. And the second person I want you to be is a history professor. I want you to be a great historian about what you've done and what you've accomplished in your life. One of the best ways to overcome negative self-talk is to actually have this history, this understanding of the things that you've already accomplished in your life. You can't tell a person who's had great success that they're going to be a failure because they have a track record, and you need to be that person. So I'm actually going to give you an assignment on this one as well, and it's this. At the end of this video, take a piece of paper. I know it sounds old school. Take a piece of paper, a pen, or a pencil, and write down 20 things that you've accomplished in your life. And here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you one rule, and the one rule is this: there's no accomplishment too small that you can't write it down. So if you're in one of your 20 accomplishments is, I made it through elementary school, I graduated, hey, that's valid, that works. I've been married 3 months, or I've been at my job 5 years, or hey, I'm the person that's always asked to bring the avocado dip when we have family functions. Any of those and all of those are valid. No accomplishment is too small. The truth is that as you build your resume of accomplishments, you'll start to see them more and more in your life. The truth is also your subconscious will start to align itself with what you practice. So that self-talk, you'll find, naturally starts to become more positive and honestly more truthful, because it looks at your life through your accomplishments and the things you've done versus the things you haven't. So take out that piece of paper when we're done and go ahead and get started on that one. And the third person I want you to be is a cheerleader. And I've got a little secret for you. Did you know this? That there is actually no rule against cheering for yourself? Celebrating yourself and the things that you've done? Why is it that our accomplishments we tend to discount, but our challenges, those issues, those things that we've done wrong, we tend to elevate? In having that mindset, we discount the ordinary things we do unless we do them wrong. Why? There's no rule that says you have to do that. Here's an example for you. Have you ever gone along and you tripped over a crack in the sidewalk? Have you ever been with a friend and you've tripped over a crack in the sidewalk? And if you're a guy like me, you kind of stumble, but you try and act like you meant to do it. But your friend, your buddy comes alongside and makes fun of you. Why did they do that? Because they didn't celebrate you for the 100,000 steps you took that day without tripping, but the single time you didn't, it was discounted and it was made fun of. Sometimes we do that to ourselves with our self-talk. So here's the next assignment, the thing I would like you to do. Today, at the end of your day, after dinner but before you go to bed, think of 5 things you've done today that you've accomplished that you're proud of. And they can be as ordinary, as simple, as straightforward as anything. But when you start to notice that the vast majority of your life is doing something right, not doing something wrong, you start to negate the negative self-talk. And you start to find the truth in the fact that you are much better than you give yourself credit for sometimes. See, it's called self-talk for a reason, and because of that, the higher value I place on myself and the things that I've done in my life, the less negative I hear in my head when I'm trying something new. So in summary, I just need to tell you this. This is a truth that I desire for you to tattoo on your brain. What you focus on, you become. It's the truth that through hundreds of thousands of scientific studies, it's found that what we focus on, we become. What we think we are, the beliefs we have, determine our thoughts, which determine our actions, which determine our future. And so what you need to do is this. Take on these 3 traits. Be these 3 people in your own life. Be your own Superman. When you get negative self-talk, change your physiology. Change what you believe, right? By changing what you posture. Be a history professor, remembering all of the things that you've done in your life that you should be proud of. Small or large, they're all accomplishments. And the third one is be your own best cheerleader. If you won't, who will? And when you take on these 3, not personalities, but these 3 ways of looking at yourself and looking at your life, I think your self-talk is going to change. And it's things you can do today. Remember that piece of paper and those 20 accomplishments. Remember at the end of the day those 5 things that you've done right today. Make it a daily habit, and your self-talk will change. And I'll tell you this right now, you'll start to become the person that I believe you can be, and you'll believe it too. Hey, like I said at the beginning, my name is Mark, and I am glad you're here at _Freedom for Life _ This is where you'll get the tools, the truth, and the knowledge to go from where you're at to where you're called and created to be. Today, it'll be around self-talk. Hey, remember to subscribe, be a part of these conversations, and get these tools that are going to help you live your life in a way that is going to be amazing. Hit that notification button again, because we are putting out conversations and tools and truths every single week. And if you can hit that like button, and please put a comment down below and let us know what's resonating with you, and even what topics you'd like us to cover in the future. I am so glad that you're here, and I want to tell you this on the way out: dominate your day like never before.